You know, it's not easy being a Fantastic Four fan. With so many bad movies already for this franchise, you really have to develop a thick skin. I like to call it my Fantastic Four skin. Hey there, this is Matt with State of Flux, here with a review for the Fantastic Four First Steps. And this is the first truly good adaptation of the Fantastic Four. Some smartasses out there are going to say, but what about The Incredibles? And to that I say, yes, The Incredibles is a fairly decent take on Fantastic Four. What if you plop Fantastic Four into Watchmen? Yes, okay, fine. You did it. You got me. This is the first truly good adaptation of the Fantastic Four, as they truly are from the comics. And this feels very much similar to Superman, like you picked up one of those 60s Fantastic Four comics, just right off the shelf. It captures that feel, that tone. It really helps that they use the setting and the film language and stuff, especially with the set decoration, to really make it evocative of that early 60s sci-fi kind of Star Trek feel to it. And I really appreciated that. Had this leaned a little more cosmic, like, yes, this is by far the most cosmic we get with the Fantastic Four in any of the movies, but had they gone just a little bit further, I think it would have just been like a totally perfect adaptation of Fantastic Four. As is, it's really very good. And it's good because they nailed the characters. These characters should be easy to adapt. Their powers and who they are go hand in hand. You have the brilliant scientist who has stretched himself too thin. You have a woman who doesn't feel like she's seen amidst this group of amazing individuals, who puts up walls and shields herself from the public eye. You have the hothead who's quick to action and has a fiery temper, and you have the rock that grounds them all, who turn into their personality traits. They literalized the story, and the one thing that none of the other movies seem to get right is most of the characters' kind of behavior. Like, they got the sort of bare bones of it, but they didn't tether those things together, and not a single one of them until now got Reed Richards right. Reed Richards is so good and so well executed in this film. When I heard Pedro Pascal was playing him, I didn't see it. He's not a person that immediately reads hyper intelligent. He sells it in this really well. I was hoping for somebody more like a Timothy Olyphant, who has this tortured quality, but Pedro Pascal is able to really make this work, and he is fantastic. He's doing some really incredible voice work too. He has sort of this mid-Atlantic kind of voice from old-timey movies that he's bringing to it, but not in an obnoxious way, in an incredibly grounded and believable way. Sue Storm is a knockout. She is so incredibly well done in this, and I think that she, more than any of the others, got the shortest shrift in all the other adaptations, especially in those Jessica Alba ones, where she was just sort of meat to look at, and they used her powers to be like, oh, she's in her bra. You don't get that here. You get this woman with immense vulnerability, but incredible strength, and the capturing of that with Vanessa Kirby, who was another one that I was a little trepidatious about her casting. She nails it. She, I think, for me, is the best of the four in this film. Johnny Storm is interesting, because he, I think, was the one they got the most right in those 2000s adaptation. He's not so much a hothead here. He is quick to action. He's got I'm gonna, without thinking, just take control. But what they do really right with his character is make him very intelligent on his own right. You believe all four of these, including the Thing, are astronauts. They're quite intelligent people. They are going to logic a scenario out the best they can with Reed Richards as their point of contact point and guide. And the Thing is very, very well done in this. He's very soft-spoken, he's very sweet, there's a tenderness there, and I think they had gotten him mostly right in the previous, I think honestly all the adaptations have gotten the Thing mostly right, but this one really, really worked for me. How they unite as a team and as a family, and they rely on each other, and they're willing to sit and make sacrifices for each other, reads so true, and that's what makes this film work. It's smart, it's funny, but not quite as funny as some of the other ones. There's one comedic bit right at the tail end of this movie that I really liked and found it very believable and whatnot, but it does go on just like a tiny stretch too long. Silver Surfer in this kind of steals the show, as they should. Silver Surfer is an incredibly compelling character, very visually interesting, and to anybody out there who's like, he looked so much better in the 2007 version, absolutely not true. First of all, if you take that movie's budget and inflate it to today's budget, that movie cost more than this one did, so of course the polish is going to be there because they had an additional $30 million to play with, but even taking that out of it, she looks better. It's just that the actress playing her has an interesting shaped face, and so it doesn't look as conventional as the Fantastic Four of the past. She is done exceptionally well. The textures, the smoothness, the reflection, it works, and I think she's great, but her story is very fascinating, very interesting, and they capture that issue, 48, 49, 50 from the original Fantastic Four run incredibly well. The Herald of Galactus is here, and Galactus is coming. Galactus himself is a threat that is very similar to how he was portrayed in the comics and on my shirt, and I really appreciated that. He's not a amorphous blob in the sky that has no definitive character. This one doesn't have a ton of character, just the character that you need it to have, but it's all trying to do one thing, and that is to quite literally tear this family apart. And you see the lengths to which this family will go to make sure that they stay united. It is a very good movie. I think it's the best of the Marvel movies this year, and I am very excited to see where this story continues on in the future. If I do have one negative on the story front is I was anticipating it to lead into the next Avenger outing a little more than it ultimately does. As is, it's an incredibly self-contained standalone story that offers, I guess, a small hint of what's to come, far more so than direct setup to what's to come. But there you have it. The score on this film is phenomenal. Michael Giacchino always knocks it out of the park, but I think of all the Marvel scores he's done, and he's done some really damn good ones, this one might be my favorite. It feels both very 60s, but also very MCU, and they found a way to marry the two. I think that's all I'm going to say about it. If you want a spoiler review, I can do so in about a week's time. But let me know what you thought of this film. I give 3.5 stars out of 4 to. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, do all this stuff. Peace.